should represent them as a class. These students have earned the respect of classmates and staff, have exhibited skills of independent thinking, and have shown confidence and ease in communicating ideas to others. They have demonstrated courtesy to both staff and fellow students, and have been willing participants in all facets of Vanier school life. So please give a hand to the 2013-2014 Valedictorians, James Smallman and Tobin Bradley.
It was long, it was difficult, and it was nerve-wracking.
Sometimes we wanted to cry, other times we almost gave up, but in the end we persevered and got it done.
Now, some of our parents may not know exactly what we're talking about, while others may know all too well. But I'm pretty sure each and every one of our graduates know precisely what we're talking about, as we have all had the chance to experience one of Ms. McPhail's science tests.
Good evening, parents, teachers, siblings, and fellow graduates, and welcome to the 2014 Vanier June graduation. Tonight we are here to celebrate the accomplishments of our 80-something graduates and to honor our transition from elementary to high school.
And while some of us start to break out the waterworks, some begin to snigger at some of the dumb stunts we pulled as grade 7s, and everyone starts to miss Vanier already. Remember, once a viper, always a viper. Looking at all of you guys right now, in our finery, suits and ties, high heels and sparkly dresses, it's hard to believe that this is the same group of people that greeted me with slightly nervous faces on September 7th of 2012.
I know I can still remember that day, or at least how crowded the Vanier hallways seemed to be. We were like a can of sardines, packed tightly between those two narrow walls. I can still remember the raucous laughter coming from the groups of grade 8s, the nervous smile I exchanged with the other girl waiting in front of our classroom, and the relief I felt finally stepping into room 303. Later, when we all went down to the assembly, the teachers and principal began explaining the daily schedules and events of Vanier. And as they described all of the fun activities yet to come, I began to smile, because I knew that it was going to be a great year.
And a great year it was. Grade 7 was really the year we learned the foundations of our new school, and Vanier certainly was special. I mean, what school served grilled cheese in the mornings? And yet, amidst all the newfound traditions and fun, there was still a significantly larger workload than what we had been used to before. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the quote, "With great power comes great responsibility." Well, at Vanier, we had a little bit of power and tons of responsibility, at least when it came to schoolwork.
And even though we griped and moaned about all of our projects and homework assignments, I think that come September, we'll all see exactly how much Vanier has helped us in terms of balancing time and work. So, we would like to say to the teachers, in spite of all of our complaining, sleepless nights, and cramped hands, thank you.
I would like to take the time to acknowledge every grade 8 teacher individually. So to start off, I had the opportunity to be taught by two excellent math teachers this year, one of which being Mr. Lord and the other being Mr. Kahn. Mr. Brown for teaching us all about Kinsuke's Kingdom and his countless episodes of Extra. Mr. McPhail and his interesting, to say the least, projects. Madame Demons, who seemed to make us do more push-ups than our actual gym teacher. Miss Vanier and her very enjoyable walks. Miss Martin and her encouragement over the past 2 years. And Madame Swanega, who taught us that art doesn't always have to look great.
Grade 7 was a time where we all began to get into the various trends, styles, and obsessions, both at school and in the rest of social media. Je suis certaine que beaucoup de vous vous souvenez de qu'est-ce qui se passait chaque fois que Harlem Shake était joué au Danse des Clubs. Peut-être que nos étudiants d'immersion tardive se rappellent du practice qui s'est passé pour quelques mercredis il y a quelques mois. Et, en revenant au sujet de danse d'école, j'aimerais vous rappeler des snowballs qui se sont passés pendant chaque danse. Il n'y a aucune chose plus embarrassante que danser avec une fille ou un garçon qui est soit beaucoup plus grand ou beaucoup plus petit que toi-même.
One of the things our peers always liked the best about Module Vanier was the freedom. When I say freedom, I don't mean the freedom to go out for lunch or the freedom to have your own locker. I mean the freedom to be yourself. With the abundance of extracurricular activities, there was always a time to let your passion show, and nobody ever judged you for liking one thing or another.
During my time at this school, I was constantly surprised by the lack of a social food chain. While there may be designated popular kids, they certainly aren't afraid to hang out with whomever they please, whether it be someone who likes books, computers, or weird music. And there were always so many people that you could be with. I hope that every single one of our graduates has always had someone's shoulder to cry on, whether it be of sadness or of laughter. I hope that you have all had a chance to express your passions and interests, and I hope that you have had fun doing so.
Graduates, if tonight is anything besides a night to celebrate, it's a night to say thank you. Thanks to our teachers and parents, principals and secretaries, siblings and tutors. But we must also thank our friends, for who knows what the past 2 years would have been like without them.
Since the beginning of grade 7, we have all shaped each other's Vanier experiences. We have laughed together, cried together, and learned together. We've lived these past 2 years to the fullest. I can still remember the hilarious hazing that occurred during last year's March Madness. One teacher was a hardcore Duke fan, and another rooted for North Carolina. A rather amusing week of pranking ensued. There are still North Carolina signs of a certain English teacher hung up in a French classroom hanging on a wall. As well, the glorious turmoil that was the ride home from the Montreal trip still stands out in my mind. Finally, one of my favorite moments from the beginning of grade 8 was sports day. My class, 8A, won the Spirit Award, which basically means that we lost every single game that we played, but still managed to have fun.
Over the course of the past 2 years, we've also been exposed to some fantastic field trips. First, Montreal. We got to go and learn about the history of the city, and then we got to attend circus school. This just seemed like a preparation for what was to come next year. St. Donat, that was probably one of the best weeks of my life so far, and it was fun for everybody, no matter what your skiing level. And I mean, all the other activities were great too. I could talk about St. Donat for a really, really long time and not get bored, but this speech would probably get a little dull.
What we are trying to say, graduates, is that Vanier would not have been Vanier without each other. Looking out at all of you, I see some of my closest friends. I see people that I respect and look up to, and I see others who I wish I could have gotten to know better. So please, turn and shake the hand of the person in front of you, behind you, or beside you. You have all made each other's Vanier experiences immensely enjoyable. There is a quote that says that good friends are hard to find, difficult to leave, and impossible to forget. And I believe that the past 2 years, tonight's graduation, and the rest of our lives are a testament to that quote and to each other.
When I look around tonight, everyone looks so much different from the start of grade 7, and yet still the same. The growth we've experienced over the past 2 years is incredible. We can see that people have kind of grown into roles in their classrooms. Everyone understands things so much better. Situational awareness is one of the biggest things I've noticed. And of course we've made bad decisions in our time here. Poor choices, the adults like to call them. Learn from your mistakes, they say. Maybe we have, and maybe we haven't. But surely we are wiser now than we were 2 years ago. We are the next generations of scholars, artists, and athletes that are ready to take high school by storm. And as I look around tonight, I know that every one of us is ready to make this school proud.
Everyone here at Vanier has had the opportunity to partake in an excellent extracurricular program. Vanier has a sport, club, or activity for everyone. These vary from basketball and ultimate frisbee to clubs like student voice, Lego robotics, or dragon running. And another great thing about being at Vanier is the competitive aspect of school. Even things like math become healthy competitions, of course. For example, the math movements that take place every April. And anyone who played volleyball at the start of the year is now very familiar with all of Miss Martin's infamous quotes, including,
"I can't want the ball for you."
We see so many great examples of school spirit. There's the goal patrol team, who's attempted to do the impossible by trying to make the world a better place through 8 ridiculously hard, yet seemingly achievable goals. There's our track and field team, who has excelled at so many different events.
I have had the opportunity to play almost every sport at Vanier, and I can't say I haven't enjoyed a single one of them. And everything runs so smoothly at Vanier. So I would just like to take the time to thank everybody who oils this finely tuned machine that is our school. Throughout our years here, we've made memories that will last us a lifetime. It's crazy how fast these past 2 years have gone by, and yet memories have bloomed every day. Maybe some of these memories that you think are great now are ones you look back on and say, was that really me? I mean, honestly, how could a mispronounced brand on a milk carton end up being so funny? What about that first slow dance? Holy, your face just went red. Maybe it was Mr. Brown's excellent choice of literature. Maybe Miss McPhail's interesting projects, or Mr. Lord's history class. Something as simple as a joke told in English class one day can be something that we will remember and carry with us for a long time.
Tonight's event is a bittersweet occasion. While it marks the celebration of moving on to high school and slowly gaining more and more freedom, it also signifies leaving the small, hallway-sized haven that is Vanier June. It signifies going to seek the great perhaps. It means that the future is here. So, we must push past all of our sadness and fear and accept the future with open arms. There is, however, nothing that we can do to stop it. And maybe we are finally ready to grow up. We have gone through the angst of starting a new school with new people. We have learned how to balance our workload. And now we must learn to move on.
William Shakespeare once said, "We know what we are, but not what we may be." So as we move into the great unknown, that being high school, post-secondary, and the rest of our lives, try and keep everything Vanier has taught us with you. And remember, wherever you may end up, soldier on. Balance it out. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And remember, keep a smile on your face, have hope, and never, ever give up.
As we count the hours until school ends, there will be a feeling of sadness that can overwhelm us. We begin to say to ourselves that it's over. But is it really? This isn't the end as much as it's simply a new page waiting to be written in the next chapter that is the story of our lives.
The best is really yet to come. Ne pleurez pas parce que c'est fini. Souriez parce que c'est passé. So please give a round of applause to the 2013-2014 graduates of Module Vanier. La comité de graduation a préparé un diaporama de souvenirs pour les finissants du module Vanier. Bon visionnement.